Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ellison Cruz, and I'd like to welcome you back to the continuation of Bayonetta Origins.
Who's a cutie?
In the last episode, we made some pretty good strides towards exploring and completing a good chunk of the early game, all while learning some fancy new abilities at our shiny new rock. It was a pretty great time, and today we are about to finish the third chapter, and there is actually quite a lot that we need to do regarding that. So, as much as I'd like to say we'll get right into it, I think we'll do so after a union-mandated nap.
Let's take a break.
Because I do think it is nigh time to explore our costumes. Like I've mentioned many times in the past, you can only really access costumes once you've beaten the game, at which point you will basically need to collect every type of collectible in order to unlock each one. And the reason why I'm bringing this up now is because I think it's time to spice things up, and there are some certainly appropriate costumes we can dip into. And luckily, it doesn't really spoil what they are until you select it. And keep in mind, it does tell you what you need to do in order to unlock it. So I'm not going to spoil the last two things because I really don't want to reveal that just yet, but I think it's probably appropriate for the moment that we switch into Cereza in Wonderland.
Cool.
Oh, it's great. Obviously, this game is extremely reminiscent of something that you might expect out of an Alice in Wonderland game, straight from, you know, I guess the tone and I guess the creatures, while also having a cat named Cheshire, which he has his own appropriate attire as well. Look at that dapper little top hat there. It's adorable. It's amazing. Of course, in order to unlock a Mad Hatter, you will need to collect every single treasure chest inside of every single Tirnanog, and it's a pretty trying ordeal, so keep that in mind. But to unlock Cereza in Wonderland, you just have to complete all 12 of the time trials, getting at least a gold tempered time. Platinum is the best, so I'm glad you don't have to get that one because that can be a little rough, but you can also change up your hairstyle as well. You get slight spoilers there, such as, you know, resolve in a new chapter, but we'll stick with the default for the time being, and we'll change it up a bit as we go. Sound good? But there we have it, easy as that. And it's time to get this show on the road, hopefully with as little adversity as possible, but something tells me we're just gonna be bombarded from all angles. Starting with this guy right here. Excuse me, sir? Sir? Oh, he doesn't see me. That's weird. There we go. All right, now he does. Yeah, that's a little concerning. I think he's supposed to shoot you from afar and you're supposed to counter it, but I guess he just didn't feel like it today. Someone didn't get his union-mandated nap. Okay, so you can smack the hell out of these crystals, but it's kind of a waste of time for only a handful of drops. So we'll just ignore most of those for now, and instead of following the obvious path, I will do a little dance. Why not? It's interesting that you can actually send Cheshire up here, because you can't get up here without him, so I don't know why you'd separate the two, but you know what? That's fine. They can do what they'd want, and I will plunder this demonic mist. Yeah, the magic that Cheshire uses when he gets some later abilities are magic guzzlers. It's pretty insane, so you're really going to want to keep an eye out on that, as well as these lasers. Yes, fairies do that apparently now. They shoot lasers now? They shoot lasers. So yeah, it doesn't really hurt to get hit by those, but I would avoid it, especially when you're heading to Lake Nemua. I still am not sure how I'm supposed to pronounce that, so I'm sorry if I am just absolutely botching it, but I'm certain it's probably something like that. So we'll go ahead and make this nice and accessible to us, but that's where we have to go. And there's still a little bit that we can do here at the lake, despite not being able to traverse over water. You can see in the bush, there is actually a monster there, so I'm gonna avoid that. I'm just not gonna worry about it right now. And you know what? Sure, let's do it. I forgot this was here. Why not? Is this what I think it is? Alright, well, I can tell you that for starters, there are definitely going to be some limitations on the clock. We need to defeat all enemies before time runs out, and this is actually not as harsh as doing some of the later time trials where getting hurt does count against you and the clock. In this instance, it does not, and defeating enemies extends the time limit, and with the already incredibly generous amount they give you, you really shouldn't have any outstanding issues with this, so let's get started. I'm gonna try to play this a little tactically because we have a man here who likes to whip us from the stage, but he is immobile, so we don't have to worry, and instead hope that we don't get targeted too much off screen with Cereza. So we'll just go ahead and bop him up and call it good. These guys have a lot of health, damn. Lots of enemies will spawn, and like I said, it's just really lucky that we don't have to worry about getting hit. Still would be nice not to. Ooh, and the counter. There we go. All right. The guy in the back there got real lucky. Okay. So we're going to teleport over here, make life nice and easy for us, and we can go and finish. Oh, excuse me. Huh? Okay, I sincerely thought we had to kill that big old plant thing, but apparently we don't. I mean, I'm not complaining. Let's just grab our piece of flour and get the hell out of here.
Yes!
That is really good to know. Huh, I just would always take him out first, but because he was by himself, didn't really pose a threat to us. I don't know, but I'll go ahead and meet you guys back on the outside. Man, I am telling you, those sequences are literally 30 seconds long just to get from there to here. That's crazy. Okay, well, we can now find a moon pearl on the map, and it's gonna be, I guess, not too long before we can access it, but hey, a little shiny tooth in me. Come on, let's go and do a little dance. Ah, nice. The Colgate dance, I should say, not sponsored. Yeah, this is completely optional. We didn't have to do anything here. But it's just better to clear those out, get those pieces of petal, and just enjoy yourself. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we are going to get our very first instance of a Mimicutie. You have absolutely no way of knowing whether or not there's an enemy in there unless you've already played it. So, there's gonna be, quite a few of these guys just hanging around. Stop it, sir. Also aiming towards the wrong person, as per usual. Okay, we'll do some of that. So, I'll probably end up getting caught in one of these just to show what it's like, but it isn't super glamorous, and I guess if you want to go ahead and put yourself into Cheshire's Claws, be my guest. Why not? See, why can't the Tirnanog do that? That was no editing. That went straight back to the overworld like nothing. Just do that normally, man. Alright, well, the prize you get for these fights is usually a little better than most. In this case, quite a bit of experience. And a health tonic. So I won't be too salty about that, but still. Well, while we're here, I might as well use this as an opportunity to showcase what happens when you get caught in a trap. Step in it and you're immobile until your partner helps you, and then it's just gone. It's pretty self-explanatory. Over here we have this spinny rotatey thing that appears to be broken. Can't do anything about that. And while our progress here is probably going to be pretty limited, we can just go and hop on these oscillating platforms, or they're going up and down. It's not necessarily oscillation. But if we head over here, hey, it's a far-sighted bogey that just falls over after 2 seconds. That's great. Over here we have some more light bulbs that we can go and do some business with, so do some of that. And luckily our casting speed is pretty fast here. Just gotta make sure they're all nice and, yeah, sterile for us. There we go. And there we have it. So keep in mind, if you mess up at any point during that sequence, you are going to have to start over. It's not very fun, but just so you know. For that, we get another demonic mist. Aw, it's adorable. And that is, I think, basically everything we can do out here for the time being. This Rotato thing we can't do anything about, so we'll most definitely be back, even if we have to deal with some wonky platforming here. Yeah, make sure not to fall into the drink. Cereza can't swim, and neither can Cheshire. We'll get rid of that, and we'll go ahead and grab this too. This, I feel like, gives us a ton of experience, so you definitely want to try to snag this before moving on. Yeah, triple threat Onyx Rose Power, Jesus. Yeah, I really love the way the lake looks. It's just traversing it is a little unwieldy, and it's gonna be something you are probably not gonna have much fun with the first time around. It's very confusing. So we'll go and make our way back, and yep, there he is. He's still lying in wait. I don't know why he's doing that. It's not really nice. Okay, so let's go. We opened this up a little while ago. Let's see what the hell is going on over here. Foiled again, I guess. We'll go ahead and let these guys get taken care of in this corner. Just combo these jerks, and ooh, oh my god, I dove right under him. This guy lucked out like crazy. A fair bit of reward for that, and we can take a brief look at our surroundings here. Like I mentioned before, the moon pearl that we saw on the map is actually available over here, and we'll be able to get this sooner than you might think. This is actually one of the last ones I grabbed because it was so early in the game, but we'll be back, damn it, and it is like such a cool looking thing off in the distance. I don't know. Can't do anything about this just yet, but by the end of the episode, perhaps we will be able to. Also, we can make it over here. That's kind of surprising. All right, we will do another dance on the water. There you go. And hopefully just get a little bit more experience. I don't think it's anything over here aside from this stone monolith, which again, we'll learn more about that a bit later. Just keep in mind that it's there and it isn't really impeding anything. It's just kind of something to look out for in the future. So if we head over here, we have a new type of blossom. These are really interesting in the sense that when we bloom it, we'll be able to go up, around, downtown, anywhere you want with Cereza on top of it. Just not right now. All we can do is go straight up, so won't worry about that at the moment. And instead, we have some shrubbery blocking us into the water over there. We have some weird sounds happening. The grass is all wet and slippery. You don't say. Well, over here we have more of these clamping flowers, like these things, so we'll just go right past them, and oh, excuse me. Oh my god. Okay, now we have the nearsighted one. That's lovely. There we go. That doesn't deflect back at it. It's not a guaranteed thing, but slicing them up like that is. Okay, are we already at another one? Oh, yes, another shiny tooth for my collection. There we go. Depth perception of these things is weird. All right, well, if we head down, I feel like we're already at another Tirnanog. You can kind of see something for the future here also. The first time I played this, I was like, what in the hell am I supposed to do here? It looks like you can like launch yourself off these mushrooms because the camera is showing like, hey, maybe it'll propel me off that way, but no, not yet at least. Well, as we step forward, yet a new type of enemy, a goddamn Spriggan. Yeah, they're Spriggan crazy, man. They have massive shields that are completely impenetrable, and unless they're on the ground and dizzy, you cannot really hurt them. So we're gonna go ahead and actually just go and do something like this. And also over here, you can see that he's gonna bum rush to So let's do this and hope that I don't get shot from afar. That guy is a jerk. Okay, I guess he is gonna do the thing. There you go. So countering, pretty useful right now, slows down the game. Nicely done. We destroyed the barrier so that we could find another barrier to the distorted reality. All right, let's do it. Me and you, Cheshire. So first things first, we will dispel all illusions and then be confronted immediately with more. You'll find a treasure here engulfed in darkness, but can't do much about that. I'm leaving. You guys are mean. Unfortunately, still can't do anything here. That is until we get to the other side of that door, so back into the dirty drink we go, and luckily for us, the tear is right here. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorite dungeons of the game, we have rotation. But take that with a grain of salt, because good goddamn, I hate pixies. These things are so annoying. You can't hit them from down here. And if you try to deflect their projectiles back at them, it will not go back to their damn faces. So you're just gonna have to bind and wait for them to come down. Luckily they go down in a single combo, but still, it's not gonna stop me from being a little angry at these guys. Can you drop? Thank you. So, did I like almost hit it out of the cast? There we go. So another one's gonna spawn as well as your friend here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and wait. All right, can I do it? Ugh, there we go. Yeah, the projectiles are actually extremely accurate compared to, you know, say its bogey brethren. Yeah, you stay away from Cereza, please. And, oop, that was a little early. Still got it. Oof. Nicely done, you two. God, those things just make me so nervous. But now for the main course, we have the true rotation. Cheshire is going to step into this gerbil wheel and just take Cereza everywhere. And this being one of the more challenging time trials in the game, I think. This is, I feel like the only one that I have yet to platinum. It can be really tricky, so just take it easy and you'll hopefully be fine. We can go and move this little crate here, which is really annoying to interact with because it's so unwieldy and you can only go in a handful of different directions. But we can go ahead and open up our new treasure here and be on our way. Also, let me show you this. So if you're trying to climb up a ledge while still on a moving upward platform, oh my god, how are her ankles not completely and utterly just mangled in between the two platforms? It's crazy. Now, speaking of getting mangled, we're gonna start having some projectiles and lasers you need to worry about. And fortunately, Cereza is the only one that can really have to worry about these. Cheshire is safe, but they will knock you into the pit, and it is extremely annoying. So we'll go move on over here, where we have even more of these. So we will wait, we'll be patient, and we'll be fine. There you go. So let's go and run on off over here. Okay, so at this point, Cereza takes the ladder and Cheshire is just the bodyguard. So we'll be careful here and just go up just ever so slightly. It's not too bad. The timing is pretty generous, and that is a massive, I guess, platform that he's running with right now. But it's cool. I don't know. I really like this stage, and I feel like out of some of the other ones, it's definitely one of the more memorable ones. So we're gonna run across here and bust through that. And for you eagle-eyed viewers who know and you saw what was behind door number 1, we have ourselves a very special treasure. So I think, is this our second or third? This might only be our second one. because we're definitely still needing to get a piece of petal. So we'll go and run our way up, and let's see. This one we might have to be a little careful for, or maybe not. Yeah, this is the one where you don't want to go too high. We just wait right here. And luckily, Cereza will kind of duck on her own a little bit, but you don't want to test her ankles for that, especially after what we just did with them. Okay, we'll go this way. And now for some slight combat. For flying enemies, quote unquote, you can usually only defeat with a thorn bind, but you rarely ever need to do this. It's like if they're flying, you usually just wait for them to come down. You have to be on their level to do it, and you just never are in that position. So if you fall off, this is where you would respawn, and there is a very strong possibility of that happening, especially with these things. So we'll do that. Luckily, our magic gauge comes back pretty quickly. There we go. Just fall to the abyss. Why not? And up here, this is where it gets confusing because it's the same thing. It's just now your fingers are going to be all crisscrossed. So to go left, you go right, and vice versa. But yeah, it's not too bad. They don't really pile it on you as much as I feel like they should, but oh, right. Well, what seems like the calm before the storm is really just the game's way of telling you not to get too ahead of yourself. Don't want to give yourself a close shave there, Cereza. But with that, I think we have it. We have reached the end.
Yes!
We have been bestowed upon with the pedal power. Nice. All right. So yeah, that one is pretty fun. It's just time trialing it. Unless there's something obvious that I'm missing, it is easily one of the more difficult ones to do in a decent amount of time. So as we converge paths here, the planets will align once more, and our first Tirdanog of Sun-Speckled Grove is now complete, which I didn't mention because at some point we stepped in, but that's fine. We'll take the long, jaded path to the core, and just like every other time before it, not waste 30 seconds of your time dancing and destroying it. And with that, we have completed our first out of, I believe, 7 Tirdanog in the Sun-Speckled Grove. This area is absolutely massive, and there are going to be a ton of things that we have to pass up because it's going to be so long before we can collect it all. So be ready for that, as it appears as though the darkness has been vanquished from the treasure. We most certainly must investigate. This will certainly be worth our while, should it not? Yes. Okay, a little variety pack. I do love a little bit of that. Over here, this is kind of odd. We have a one-way for Cheshire, and the camera doesn't pan or anything, but it's gonna be a minute before we can come up there with Cereza. You can kind of see where the game is hinting that there is going to be a shortcut for you here, so fortunately, Cheshire being a demon of sorts, he cannot do anything to help at the moment, so. With that being said and done, let's get out of here. I do think there might be one more thing we can get. I just don't know if you're supposed to be able to get it now. Oh, there we go. See, reaching that with Cheshire is a little bit harder than it seems, but we can definitely still grab this. It's like in a very wonky angle. Just makes me nervous, you know. But I do think we're actually right in front of our next sanctuary, which is really nice because it's in front of the boss. So let's keep on making our way up. Grab this old drab. Probably won't read any of that. And bestow your eyes upon our new sanctuary. It's so cozy. And on top of that, we have another remembrance, complete with dynamic camera change.
Cereza was surrounded by a crisp, refreshing scent coming from the trees. She could feel the whisper of a mysterious power carried by the wind from further within.
Okay, well, we have some power. Let's use it, shall we? Starting with Cereza. So I was kind of torn on what I want to do with our abilities at the moment. Infernal Bond is really nice because when we start using a lot more of our magic power with Cheshire, he is going to be constantly needing a hug. So that might be a good idea. We still don't have a Moon Pearl. We will be soon. So at the moment, Venom Thorn is probably what we're going to be aiming for to start things off. I love that Cheshire is just napping through that. And you know what? We'll probably get the dodge roll too. This is really nice not only to have in battle, but also just on the overworld. We'll probably end up saving a bit more of it for later because they're going to start unlocking these branches like crazy. So you know what? Sure, let's take it.
Maybe like this?
Now, as for Cheshire, he will especially have a ton of abilities come up all at once, so we'll probably end up getting Chomp. The Plush Punch is adorable as hell. You can jab the enemy and distract them briefly, but you can also use it on the overworld and destroy things like that. So, you know what? Let's take it. Why not?
Eat up!
This is just me feeding cat treats to Ori. We also have one that can do a little bit of damage with the Plush Punch. God, I love the sound of that. But you know what? We could probably get Demon Dodge also, right? Yeah, we are just barely enough to get both. Unless I'm just bad at math, but let's do it. Demon Dodge.
Here,
It'd be weird to be able to only dodge with one and not the other. Oh, Dodge Dive. Maybe I want Dodge Dive. Because we have Chomp. Ugh. Yeah, because I can definitely get this. But this is something that's really useful too. Especially if you're, you know, somebody who likes to evade a lot of the time. And you don't have Cheshire's counter ability. You know what? Let's save ourselves some drops. And just get this one for now. The old Chomp. And this one is okay. Sometimes I find myself wishing that the game would not force me to chomp something when it would be faster just to, you know, slice them up a little bit. But it's a finishing blow, and we get a tutorial for it for some reason. So anytime you see that symbol, hold the button, and there you have it. That's all you have to do. They'll usually have like a pretty healthy amount of, you know, HP left. But for the most part, you just really don't have to worry about it. Just do it when the game tells you. You'll be fine. There we go. And yes, not too shabby. All right, there we have it. Now, for the interest of safety and hopefully not messing this up terribly, I'm going to take a quick safety
Need a
save.
rest.
Get the anime girl bits out from in between my bones. Alright, so I just took a quick look at the footage, and it looks like we're going to have a bit of a longer episode this time around, so we're at the end of the chapter. Might as well enjoy it, right?
White Wolf! Wait!
Can't you move any faster? The wolf was getting away and Cheshire was not happy about it.
I'm going as fast as I can! We'd be able to move a lot faster if you would give me a ride on your back!
The demon said nothing. His glare was all the answer Cereza needed.
That's what I thought. Where did that wolf run off to now? What's that over there? Let's go check it out.
All of a sudden, a tough-looking fairy appeared out of nowhere. Cereza was startled, but tried to regain her composure.
Why don't you flock off already and leave us alone?
Cheshire let out a sigh as he pushed past Cereza to face down the fairy.
Who's gonna be the appetizer? And who shall I save for dessert?
Roared Cheshire, his mane rippling and claws extended.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our first boss is Fum Horak. This guy is a dick, and I really don't like fighting him because he will gang up on you with his little minions, and it's almost a good idea to just take care of them first, but we did manage to knock him out randomly. So just keep an eye out on them and make sure Cereza is constantly getting her magic back, but also be wary because their hits hurt. So don't forget you have counter and just try to stay light on your feet. Getting hit by the deflection is really bad. It leaves you super vulnerable, so you want to be very careful about that. So just get the Thornbind in, and eventually, even if you do counter the boss himself, you can get some really good, momentum on damage on him. Yeah, he's staggered now, so that's good. So I'll go and pin him down, and after enough time, roughly half health, more enemies will spawn, and these guys will just make it rough on you. So regenerate some magic in hug mode. Just make sure we keep an eye out on him. Ooh! Oh my god! There's the counter coming in clutch. Okay, we should just go ahead and take this guy out, so I don't think he spawns anyone else. And now that we have our magic, we can maybe... Ooh! Okay, that was very close. Let's go and bind. Come on, man. There you go. Okay, here we go. The final piece de résistance. Finish him, Cheshire!
The path continued to a line of arching trees which had grown together to form a tunnel. Could it be that the fairies were trying to protect this place?
Cool!
But with that, we got a full flower container, said to be resilient to any and all force. Those who acquire it are promised long-lasting life. Very, very nice. Man, I was a little nervous about that one, but it's now time for the real prize here in the Wood Shrine.
A strange orb atop a pillar. Could this be the elemental core of which the boy in Cereza's dream had spoken? Before it stood the White Wolf. Just as Cereza took a step towards the pillar to investigate,
Wait! What are you doing?
leaping from Cereza's grasp, Cheshire lunged towards the wolf.
Stop running and tell us how to get that power already.
Cheshire was fed up with this wild wolf chase. He wanted answers.
Cheshire! Stop! And listen for a second! Ah!
Missing his mark, Cheshire's claws struck the elemental core instead. All was quiet until... Energy poured from the core like a furious whirlpool. Standing in its midst, Cereza felt a strange power flow through her.
What was that? I feel funny.
Don't hog the power, girl.
Cheshire roared his protest. He wanted his piece of the pie. But what exactly had they released?
that, we have destroyed the wood elemental core and received its power. We can change to his wood form by pressing Y.
Let's go! Awesome!
The pair had gained a new ability.
Is this it? I can go home now?
Cheshire asked excitedly.
No, this is something different. We need to smash 3 more of those things before I can send you back. But I'm sure this power will come in handy for something too. I know. That is why we're following that wolf in the first place.
Speaking of that wolf, where did he go now? To find the other elemental cores, they first need to find him.
I swear, you demons are more trouble than you're worth.
The bickering companions left the remains of the core behind them, heading ever deeper into the forest.
Well, with a new form comes new abilities. You are definitely a lot faster, and you have the ability to also grab things with your tongue and drag it towards you. This also applies in battle to all of those symbols we've been seeing lately, but this really does drain the magic gauge very fast, so this is where hug mode is definitely going to come in handy. Luckily for us, you don't have to worry about that out on the field, so we'll go and pull that, and before we do anything else, we can now actually go out in the wild and absorb these obstructions. By filling the gauge, we will actually increase Cereza's gauge if we do enough of these, but the later on in the game you get, the more you're gonna need. I think it's crazy, you're gonna need like 50 of them to fully max it out, but nothing really beyond the shrine here, so let's backtrack just a little bit to that arena, because there are still a couple things we can collect back there, even though it's not super important to do so now. Yeah, man, that fight was wild, and I actually really love Wood Cheshire. Obviously, some of the other elementals are going to be a bit more powerful, but in terms of comboing, there is so much potential here. So we're going to go ahead and snag this too, as long as I don't get snagged on the chest there. And yeah, an entire world is now made available to us, because we can go around, do certain things like this. Okay, this one is actually kind of annoying. What I'm gonna do is wait over here, and I'm gonna go knock this down. This was one that, yeah, it's just 1-2, but you really have to get over there fast. It's kind of annoying. A lot of the post-boss sort of boxes like that kind of do that trick.
Yes!
But hey, get another variety pack there. I could have probably used some demonic mist for that fight, not gonna lie. We'll go and pull this too. Again, I'm not gonna be doing too much of that, but it's there, and you can enjoy it that way. What's more important is using it to create paths over otherwise inaccessible terrain, like this water here. So we can not fall in and jump across this way for yet more notes, lovely, and more treasure. Man, they are really doling out the chests here, aren't they?
Cool!
Well, I'm not complaining. So, yeah, we're not doing too bad. I just am going to get to the next sanctuary before we end things off here, but yeah, I'm excited. Unfortunately, you can't do any direct backtracking right now. It's kind of weird, but we're going to be making a lot of shortcuts back home, and there are going to be plenty of other things that we can run back for and grab, just so long as it isn't, you know, too inconvenient or out of the way. This game is really good at putting things at polar opposite ends of where you need to do things. So we won't worry about it too much. And here, yeah, absorb elemental power, and this will increase your magic gauge. So we definitely want to make sure we do that, but I think it goes without saying. There we go. And oh, there was a chest behind you. Very nice. More experience for all and wonky camera zoom-ins. Cool. So yeah, I guess this kind of just serves as a bit of a tutorial for what to expect with this. You have to be pretty close to the thing in order to use it, but For the most part, you'll know exactly where and when to do this thing. So over here, we'll go ahead and give him the old toss-a-roo. There you go. And I will wait. Well, here, let's do this. Let's actually grab this first so that while you're walking across, you can grab that other thing. So you can just, there we go. Multitask just a skosh. And there we go. We can now create even more paths that way, which I think is just another chest. What is that, 5 or 6 in the last 2 minutes? I mean, I'm not complaining. I don't think you should be either. All right. Yeah, we're pretty close to getting our first Moon Pearl and Infernal Fruit, so I'm gonna be pretty excited once those start entering the rotation. But as it stands, Chapter 4, Cereza's Resolve. Alright, well that was certainly not ominous in the slightest. Oh hey, you know what? I'll grab another one of these, why not? There we go. So, the bracer offers us its power, and we have just a little more magic at our disposal, which is nice. Is there anything else over here? Doesn't really look like it. With that, welcome to, I guess, just a regular save spot. We don't have a cozy little spot to just sit and hang out in? No, we got a couple of things that we get to do here a little bit later, but I'm gonna save that for next time, alright? My name is Ellison Cruz. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you here next time for more adventures throughout the sun-speckled grove. Trust me, we're not out of the woods just yet. Take care, everybody, and I hope to see you guys then.